Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to play around with the Just Miss You kit by Simon Says Stamp, and I am going to attempt to make multiple cards today. So what I did, I took some tips from Christina Warner, and she does like card sketches to kind of give her ideas and help her prepare for when she's making cards. So I just took a little inspiration from her and just kind of jotted down some ideas and kind of sketched out some ideas of what I want to work on today. And I think it'll help me in the process, because sometimes I have like bad mental blocks. I want to craft and sometimes I just don't. I have so much stuff, sometimes I just don't know what to do with all of it. So anyway, this is the contents from the kit. I did do an unboxing video that you guys can go and check out, and I'll go ahead and try to link the unboxing in the description box below, but you really don't have to if you don't like to, because I am just kind of showing you everything that came in the kit, including this little Marvy jewel picker, the die, pretty good size die. 2 envelopes came in the kit. This little smaller one, craft color, and then a white envelope. And I love these little Vicki Boutin cards in envelopes. Anyway, like I said, if you guys want to see the unboxing for the card kit, you can definitely go and check that out. But this is probably going to be a pretty lengthy video, because I usually don't do many multiple card videos because of the time frame. But so if you guys, if you're not really into watching really long videos, you might not like this one, because it's probably gonna be a long one. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and the first thing I'm going to do is just pull my papers apart. These are some really pretty colorful papers by Vicki Boutin, and I'm just going to pull them apart, and this will make it easier for me to determine which papers I want to use for my cards. I have my coffee right here. All really pretty scrapbook paper designs. So I've already kind of decided what designer paper I wanted to use, and let me see. I'm definitely going to use this one with the little envelopes here, the mailer envelopes. And let's see, I'm definitely going to use this one. And let's see, I'm going to use this one, and I am going to use this one for sure. They're all so pretty. I think I'm going to use this one as well. And I'm going to put the rest to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and do some cutting, because I have ideas already jotted down about how I want to use these designer papers. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm gonna go back to my sketches real quick and just see how I decided to handle these. So I'm gonna cut these. Let's see, our papers are 6 by 8, so I'm gonna cut this at 4 right here, and that way I still have this piece that I can use for a different project. So this will be one of the panels that I'll use for one of my cards, and then same thing for this one. Oops, pull that up. Same thing for this one. I'm just gonna cut it in half. Actually, I think I'm gonna cut this one to 4 1/4. Okay. Let's see, what does that give us? So this one is 4 1/4 by 6. So I'm going to cut this one 4 1/4 at 5 1/2 for my card. So this will be for another card. And this one, I think I want to do a slimline card with this one. So let's cut that. Oops. Cut that strip off. And I'm going to cut this in half at 3. And I'm going to cut it at 3. Yeah. That'll give me this piece that I can use for a different project. Alright. And for this one, I'm actually going to do some fussy cutting because my idea is to use these little Polaroid pictures as focal points for a card. And so this one I'm also going to just trim down for a slimline card. But this one I think I want to go 3 1/2 on this one. Okay, so this will be for my card. So I still have these pieces that I can use for other cards. And then, like I said, I am going to fussy cut these little frames out to use. Okay, so these are the designer paper pieces that I'm going to be using. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my first card. So I used this frame die, and if you see, it has just a little, I call it a stitch pattern, but it's basically little holes. But I love this frame die, so I'm going to use this for my first card. Alright, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. And sorry if you hear my fan going in the background. It's kind of warm in here, so that is that. I'm going to pull out my craft mat, and I am going to use this Mermaid Lagoon. And I'm going to go ahead and pan down a little bit so y'all can see a little bit more. I'm going to use this brush to apply color to my panel. And so we'll do that first. So this is, maybe I should pan back out a little bit like that, maybe. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off of my panel and just apply some of this blue, but I don't want it to be solid. I want it to be kind of blotchy, and I want the white spaces to be in there because I want it to look kind of like a sky. Okay, so this is pretty good for me. I want it to kind of look like clouds. That is what I'm going for. But I will add a little bit more color just right around the edge of this frame so that my little polka dots can show a little bit better. And then I'm just going to do some stamping on this. Alright, so that's all the color that I'm going to add because I want it to look like a sky. And I'll just usually wipe my brushes off. Okay. So I'll keep this down, and I'm going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I have a stamp block right here that I'm going to use. I'm going to pull out the stamp set. And I'm going to use this little cloud outline. And I'm just going to put it in the middle of my stamp block. Ink this up. Okay. And I'm just going to make some little cloud outlines with this stamp. Alright, and then next I'm going to change my stamps. So next I am going to take the little people from the stamp set that are hanging from the string, and I am going to stamp them up. So him, I want this little person to, I guess, appear to be farther away or apart from the other one. So I'm just going to stamp him down right there. Just like that. And then I will take the other little person and mount him up, and I'm going to stamp him on this side. Like that. Okay, and instead of using the little heart balloons right here, I'm thinking I want to use some dies that I have. I have some little heart dies right here that I got from AliExpress in a previous haul. And I'm thinking that maybe, or let's see, I have some dies right here that are actually balloon dies. So I think maybe I'll use this heart. I'll die cut this heart and then one of these smaller hearts from this set and add that to this area. So, but before I do that, I want to add just a little bit of extra to my little guys right here to make it look like maybe they're wearing clothes. So I'm just using my pen to just draw some lines. And this is one of those EK Success Tools journaling pens. I love these pens. I got a set from Tuesday Morning with different size tips. So that's just to add a little bit of something extra to my little characters. And I want to use one of the sentiments from the stamp set. And I want to use this one that says, "I am here, you are there." So I am going to just mount that up on my little stamp block. And I'm going to put it right here in the corner. Alright. I think I want to do this little cloud puff. I think I want to stamp it and color it. And I think I want to have this one popped up off my card panel. So I am going to pause. I'm going to go ahead and cut my little balloons right here. And I think I will cut those using a piece of the leftover red cardstock right here from the designer paper. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. So off camera, just to save a little bit of time, I don't know how much time it'll save, but I did color the little image of the little people hanging. I used just some alcohol ink markers that I have here. And then I also die cut my little hearts, and these will go for the balloons. And I also stamped and cut out that cloud, and then I used the sentiment "I miss you" to stamp in the inside of the cloud. So now we can go ahead and put this card together. So I think I'm going to adhere my little balloons straight down on the panel, and I'm just using just a tape runner, and I think I will add just a dot of liquid glue just to make sure that it does not go anywhere. Oh no. Alright, so I did just drop that on my card. That's fine. So I'm going to have this balloon go right there. Alright, and then I am going to just drop a dot on here. And this one is going to go on this string like that. I'm using art glitter glue and it'll dry clear. So, and this, okay. So for this little sentiment right here in this cloud, I think I'm gonna pop that up and just kind of cover up that area where I dropped the glue. So I'm gonna use some foam tape. This is one of the ones that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am going to just put it right on this little cloud here. I'm just going to try to pop all pieces up so none are sagging on my card. One more little piece. Alright, so I'm just going to pull the backing off all my little foam tape. Alright, and then I am going to add my cloud right here. Just like that. Okay, and I already cut my card bases, so I am going to do a landscape style card. And here's my card base, which I already cut. So I can just fold it and bring in my bone folder and just crease that. Okay. And that red card panel that I cut from the designer paper, that is what I want to use for my card fronts. So I am just going to add some liquid glue, try to make a really thin line, and just stick this right down on the front of my card base like that. So this is what we have. Okay, this is my card base, and then this will go right down on top too. I'm trying to think if I want to pop this up for some dimension, or just leave my little cloud as the only dimension. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to glue this right down on the card panel. That way the border of the red can peek through and it matches with my little balloons from the scene. So this is my first card. It's really cute. A little bit of dimension with the cloud. I think I might take my white Jelly Roll pen and add some faux shine on the balloons. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see if I can. Alright, so just like that on both my little balloons here. I don't know if you can see it, it's really subtle, but that is the first card. So now we're going to move on to the next card. Okay, so for the next card, I am going to be doing a slimline card, and I just made my card base, and this card base measures at 7.5 across and 8 3/4 tall, and then I scored down the middle at 3 3/4. So I'm just going to fold that 1 second, guys. Okay, so sorry about that. My phone was ringing. Okay, so I just scored that in the middle, and that makes my slimline card here. So for this one, I am going to be using the tag that I made, that I cut, and that was one of the AliExpress tag dies. And then I'm going to also use this panel from the designer paper, and this will just go straight on my card front like this. And I'm just going to layer this with my tag. So I'm going to move my card base for now, and we'll work on this. And I think, well, not I think, I know I'm going to be using this set of little cards and envelopes, and I want a colorful one for this particular card. So I'm just going to pull these two out, and I think I like this one with the flowers, so I'm going to go with that. I actually can do two, actually, because I'm going to layer these on top of the tag, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to put this to the side. And there's a little note card that comes out that I am going to do some stamping. So I'm not sure how I want to do this, but I want to show this coming out of the little envelope like that. I'm going to pull the camera in a little bit. So something like that. So maybe we'll go like this. Okay, so first of all, for my tag, I decided I wanted to add some ribbon to my tag, just a small piece. So I got this orange ribbon that I hauled. It was a Halloween crafty haul, and so I'm just going to add this to the top. I'm going to add this to the top of my little tag, and I'm just going to take my stapler and just staple that. I thought about putting twine through the little hole of the tag. Okay, so I just want to try to make that a little neater. These scissors are not super sharp. Probably should have used my little Tim Holtz scissors, but that's fine. Okay, so I added my ribbon, and next I want to, I think I'm just going to adhere that right down on my something like that. And I want to take the sentiment that says "I really miss you." I'm going to stamp that on the paper, the little card that comes in the envelope. I'm going to stamp that right down on there. Okay. So there's a little bit where I didn't get great stamping on here, so I just want to use my journaling pen to just make those little areas darker. Alright, so I want that to stick just like that. Or maybe we can just have it sticking out like that. I think that's better. So I am going to just add just a little bit of glue to the back of my little envelope here. And I am going to just offset it just a little bit and glue it down on my tag. Alright, and then for my little letter, I don't want it to come out, but I don't want it to come out by itself. So I'm just going to stick one little glue dot behind my paper and stick that right there. Alright, so this is how this is going to go. It's a pretty simple little card. This might have looked really pretty backed on orange cardstock. But I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card base. Just like that. And I am going to offset this. And I think for this, I think I will add it up on dimension. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull the backing off here. Cut that little piece. And I'm going to put it just like that. Just like that. And then I am going to use another stamp from the stamp set, and I want to use the one that says I wish you lived closer. And I'm just going to stamp this down on just a piece of white cardstock. It's a really tiny sentiment. So I'm going to stamp and just cut it out. Actually, this might look cute backed on. Yeah, I think I'm going to back this on a piece of this. So I'm going to glue this down. And then fussy cut it off of this piece. I can't seem to hold anything today. Okay, so then I'm just going to cut this strip right off. Just like that. And I think I will glue that right down on that tag. Just like that. And then I think I want to add some sequin to this. Let's see. Alright. So, just going to pour some sequin, and I am going to, we'll add one right here. We'll add two right there. We'll add one down here. So we get to try our jewel picker here. So let's see, I want to go for these orange looking sequin. I'm going to put the first one here. This picks up really nicely. There. There. And then we're going to put one down here. Here. And I'm just going to use my pick just to push them down. Alright. And I'm going to pan out. So this is my second card. This is a slimline card. Pretty clean and simple. Really cute. Alright, so that is my card number 2. I'm going to clean this up and then we'll start on card number 3. So for the third card, I have cut a piece of that sunshine yellow cardstock that came in the kit. Also this designer paper right here, and I'm just going to mat this on top using my craft glue. Just gonna get it where I want it. And then I fussy cut those images from one of the designer papers that came in the kit, the little Polaroid picture frames. And I am just going to arrange these going down the center of my card. And then I stamped and cut out this little sentiment that says "Miss You" from the stamp set. And I'm just trying to make up my mind if I want to have dimension to this card. I think I'm going to just fix them how I want them. I think I'm going to do this like that. And I don't think I'm going to pop them up, but I am just going to add some glue to the back. I have that one there, and this one I'm just going to tuck right up under the bottom of the other one, but I'm going to have this going in this direction right here. And then this one I'm going to have tucked right here, and it's going to be going in this direction. So simple, just like that. And then for the sentiment, I will pop the sentiment up. I'm just going to add a piece of my foam tape like that. And pull off that backing, and I think I want to, let's see. I want to put this right here in the center of my card. It's popped up for a little bit of dimension. Then I want to pull out my sequin mix again and just add some sequin. So I am going to add a couple of sequins here, one there, two there. Alright, that'll give us five sequin. So we'll put a larger sequin here, and then we'll put that one right up there. And we'll go here with this one. Go here. There. Okay, now I can pour this back in my little bag. And I think I have some containers left that I can put my leftover sequin mix in, which is what I will do later. Just so that I don't... That was a fail. Anyways. So next I have a slimline card that I've already cut. And I am going to just adhere this right down on the front of my card base. And this is going to do it for card number 3. Really pretty, colorful, simple card. I like making simple cards. I feel like my brain won't have to think as much. So this is card number 3. I like the little Polaroid images. This one says good times. This has a Ferris wheel that says Wonder Wheel, and then this one says favorite spot, and this says miss you. So just a fun, girly looking card to send to a friend, to say, hey girl, I miss you. Anyway, that's card number 3. And I'm going to clear up my workspace, and then we'll start on card number 4. And for the final card, I'm going to use this little panel that I cut from the designer paper. And I also die cut the Sending Smiles sentiment. And then the outline of the sentiment, I use vellum to cut that. And I just went ahead and glued it down, and I used my art glitter glue to glue that down. I want to put this on my card base, but I think instead of using my art glitter glue for this piece, I'm going to see how it works out by using my Loctite spray adhesive. So I'm going to grab that. And this is the one that I usually use. So I'm just going to shake that up, and I am just going to spray the back of my sentiment here. Okay, and then I am just going to stick it right down in the center of my card here. Right there. Put it on a little bit wonky, but that's how that looks, so that you can see the vellum behind the words. I like that, so you can see the outline. Alright, so I can put my spray up. I got my hands all sticky. Alright, so now that my sentiment is down, I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding card that I cut. And so this will just go right on the front of the card base. But I did take another strip of the same cardstock, and it's double-sided, and I think I want to use this side that looks like bursts of fireworks. And I'm going to just use my glue and adhere that straight across the bottom of my sentiment. Like that. And then I also stamped and cut out the sentiment that says across the miles, and I just kind of angled the corner, and I'm gonna put that right under Sending Smiles. I'm just layering that on top of that strip that I cut. So this is what we have. And then I have some leftover die cuts that came out of my little hearts, and I think I'm going to use my jewel picker, and I'm just going to put those down. So for this one, it's the little circle with the heart punched out of the middle. It came out of the inside, I believe, of the G when I cut that. So I'm just going to add just a tiny little bit of glue on that. And I'm going to turn that over and adhere that down right there. Just like that. Then I want to adhere some of those little hearts down. So we'll take this smaller one down here. I'll take this one right here, and this one right here. Just like that. And I always seem to put too much glue. I don't have my point tip on this one, so more glue is coming out than I want, but it's gonna dry. It's going to dry clear, so I'm not really worried about that. I think I'm gonna also add this outline heart as well. And I'm just going to just try to add a thin strip of glue around that, and go ahead and put it around this little heart here. Alright, so this is what we have, and then this basically is just going to be adhered right to the front of my card panel. It's going to have a little bit of border showing the card base around it. Super simple cards, just great for beginner card making. And okay, so that is the last card. So I'm just going to bring my cards back out here. Let's see, let's go back out wide. So I have this cute little card. This was the one that we used the ink blending. Really cute card. And I actually added a little bit of sparkle to those two hearts. Of course, Descending Smiles. And then the two slimline cards that we made. Here and there you go, here. Alright guys, so that'll do it for today. Hopefully you like these card projects. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, click the link down below to subscribe to my channel. And I am going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.